Uh-oh. All right, all right, all right. So we are so excited, so excited. Welcome to the Eyes of the Conscience Soul with Sister B. Mellow. We're so grateful and thankful that you are listening and tuning in with us on today. Every first Saturday of the month, we have the Cafe Le Bleu Lounge, where there are 15 to 45-minute segments called The Corner. Each corner has a blueprint that is unique of its own. So we always want you to just vibe out to our fireside chats and be inspired by affirmations and inspirational messages. On the Artist Talk, we showcase musicians, poets, singers, dancers, film producers, authors, comedians, gospel and R&B rappers from around the bay to across the globe. They share their creative process and their lived experience. And then the other part of the corner could be why I dream. We highlight the and honor the inventions and creative work of the brilliant mind today, along with geniuses from our past. We are preserving African American history and culture in order to keep our legacy alive. The other part of the corner could be she who believes takes off the mask. This is where we hear from individuals sharing their personal testimonies to what the Lord has done and is doing in their lives. And this is inspirational messages. Also, we are highlighting Golden Lights affirmation to impart healing medicine in the soil of brilliant minds today. Every second Saturday of the month, we have the Medicine Hour with Mr. George Pearson, PS, PA. And it is hosted by Sister B. Mellow. This is where we believe building a better tomorrow starts with us. Topics we cover: health issues and concerns, healthy eating habits, education, financing, and politics in the African American community. We believe taking care of our temple and mind and spirit is essential to mental wellness, healthy eating habits, and knowing that healthy thinking leads to a healthy way of living. Every third Saturday of the month, from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. is Education is the Best Medicine, hosted by the founder and producer, Mr. George Pearson. Education is the Best Medicine is a 501c3 nonprofit charitable organization which is community based, health educational advocacy based, and a resource based organization that uses public resources, radio, newspapers, and church based community health fairs to provide health and information and education to our community. Every fourth Saturday of the month, we have, excuse me, the third Saturday of the month is, um, oh my God, is it's coming up. There you go, baby. Good Lord. I'm telling you, it is something every fourth Saturday of the month is the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show. We bring in individuals, my co-host, the doc, the voice, and the Prince of Hearts. And of course, they come in and they talk about what's happening with the youth and the young adults and y'all hot topics and talk about all what's going on with y'all in y'all world. And then on the fifth Saturday, we have a new show that's called Voices That Care. And the Voices That Care, it promotes more so conversation around reentry and mental wellness. So today, the show is the Lights Out. Excuse me. Oh, Lord. Get it right, Sister B. Get it right. Get it right. Today's show is called The Corner, the Cafe Le Bleu Lounge, where we have hood scholars in talking about what they're doing in our community. Boy, folks, it's a lot behind the scenes. And boy, we've been pushing and moving and doing it. I'm going to turn this a little bit over here so I can have you see my guests with our show here. It's not about me. It's about the young folks and y'all. Everybody that know Miss B, I just use my platform to give you a voice and to give you space to talk about what you want to talk about. And then Miss B also Definitely have conversations around. You just guys can talk up and whenever you can when I get to going, because that'll pick up everything. This one is really not, but that picks up the whole thing. So with that, today it is, as I was saying earlier, it's a lot behind the scenes, but we have to make sure that we're letting the community know about what we're doing. And every Saturday, from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., what's happening on the Eyes of the Conscious Soul. So we have different segments. It's like 5 segments of different things that we do. Some are split up, some different things that can be going on, and that's the actual corner of what we use today. But today is about honoring your creativity, and that's your craft, honoring your craft. So today in the studio, I'm so blessed. I tell y'all, boy, I love my young people. These is my nephews, and this is community. I'm community auntie. I'm the community sister, whatever you want to call it. But I know that I've been chosen for a cause to do this, to do this, and I'm walking in it. I'm okay with it. Of course, Miss B in her long time past was, doing her little thing and being wrong and bad and all that kind of stuff. But I thank God I just turned 59. So, I'm so grateful and thankful again to have you guys with me today. Um, so I want you to introduce yourselves, and then just introduce yourself first, and then we'll go. We'll vibe from there. You know how we do. Our ancestors is in the house. Thank you, ancestors, for being here with us. And we keep it lit, we keep it real, we keep it solid, and it's about real talk, straight talk. So this is how we do. And I know how that's how y'all get down. So that's why I love y'all. So, but introduce yourself.
Greetings, everybody. It's actually a pleasure to be back on
Yes.
the mic and in the building. Jonathan Piper II is the government name.
Hey, hey.
Also known as LJ the DJ. We'll be on the ones and twos, mixing it up.
Yeah.
And JP on the mic.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. It's my first time here.
Woo woo. Not gonna be your last.
Not gonna be the last.
Not gonna be your last.
I won't give you my government because I don't know about my government.
You know what? I put it on. I put at Mir. I just put the W on the Facebook, but then and I put AKA PJ. PG. Oh, that's what's on there. PG. Now get it right in this beat. Get it right. But it said PG on there.
Okay. Yes, I guess I got my government. But Poppy Grande goes short for PG. I also have a moniker, MC Titty Muscle. Because this is my first rapper name ever, and I love it. It exudes me, and so
that's what I'm talking about.
I just be myself.
Well, that I'm grateful that you both introduced yourselves and tell me how you met.
Back in high school.
Yeah.
So any young individual who wants to get ahead in their education, not just at school, but through the community.
Yes.
Some of us were privileged to be a part of College Track Oakland. I mentioned that last time I was here. And this dude was a year or two ahead of me. It was like a year ahead of me. Yeah. But being in the space, you meet everybody.
My daughter went to College Track too.
Yeah.
She started in San Francisco, and then they moved over to Oakland. Yeah, and followed her all the way. Oh Lord, don't ask me. She's 30. She's 32. Okay. She's 32. So, and then it followed her all the way through college.
Exactly, like it really helps. I just found out went there like yesterday it was, and they're actually moving buildings. So they used to be right across the street from Everett and Jones.
Yes.
Now they're going towards 9th and Broadway, kind of towards the old Smart Final.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I know that spot.
Exactly. So
okay.
It's a big change for them. They want to start accepting a lot more students. So if anybody wants to come, we got up to I think 75 students for each grade level.
And so College Track helps them in high school and then get them on the track to college. So that is not an actual school. It's just okay. Because I'm putting a plug in for the Freedom School for Homies Empowerment. So if you are interested in school, you can go to Freedom School with the Homies Empowerment. That's one of the organizations that I work with, and that's Dr. Cesar Cruz, along with his wife Jazzy. The principles that they go with it is the Black Panther movement. So, but go ahead.
You get your volunteer hours.
Yes.
those volunteer hours also equal into a bank book, so money that you get
Yes.
when you go to college.
Okay.
And you tap into. And I've still been saving mine. So,
I know that's.
Bro, you get money for attendance, so just being there. You get
Mm.
money for having great grades.
Yes.
So 3.0, I think yeah, once you get above a 3.0, that's something, and then a 3.5 is also something. So
Okay.
just stack up. And they
Stacking
really
it.
helped me. I went to California State University in Northridge, and
Wow.
they helped me throughout the whole thing. Shout out to one of my mentors, Joe.
Yeah.
Um, he definitely helped me throughout so many parts of my life, and like it goes deeper than just like school.
Yes.
These people really like care for you and want
Yes.
you to grow and see the best. So
talking about Joe Gardner, huh?
yeah,
And then
R.I.P.
my daughter's was Caton Carter, Mr. Carter. Caton. Yeah. He started a long time ago. She started from, it was in San Francisco. Can't remember the school that they went over there, but then she came over, went to Westlake, and then to Tech,
mm.
and then to Mississippi, to Tougaloo, the Black Historical College there. Yeah, in Mississippi. That's where my mom was from.
Hey,
Yeah, family down
following
there.
the roots.
Okay, following the roots.
Yep.
So it is, and I want to stay right there for a second because we want our audience, we want our community, we want our families. They're getting prepared for school, to get back and acclimated into school. So we want to make sure that we're giving you all other options and information that's going to help you and your family. Definitely this program, both of the programs, they follow and a mentor, and it's life connections,
Yes.
just like you said. And I love what you said. It's just not through school, and no, it's through life.
Yeah.
And what more, to me, what more can you ask for on this world, in this world, about being connected to this human thing? Because I'm gonna talk about this AI thing. I'm gonna bring that y'all to y'all a little later. But I'm like, the human connection, you can't take away from that.
Right.
Our human connection. And there was so much stuff that's drawing us from that. And families, we're not saying there's nothing wrong with your iPhone, your whatever phone you have, your technology, but there is a way to use it that's going to benefit you and not harm us. And as of right now, somewhat is harming our community because it's babysitting a lot of our children and our families, and we don't want that. And what this gives my heart like a when I go out and I'm sitting at a restaurant and it's supposed to be family time, or it's I'm having lunch or dinner with you and we all on this,
Right.
versus having conversation. And that's one of the things that just it just burns me up. I'm like, talk, people, let's talk, get away. That's what society wants you to do, is get away from this. And that's why it's a lot of not caring about individuals in the streets, because you don't feel or know or be in Butu. I see you, you see me, we together.
Keep that circle going.
Come, keep the circle going. So, but go ahead if you guys want to chime in on that.
One thing I didn't notice, so a lot of times we do talk about the youth being babysat by the phones and the devices, but the adults are too. And
Oh, I
so,
meant both of them. Believe me,
oh yeah,
I meant both.
my advice really for folks as you go back in is to stop ignoring your children.
That's good. That's good.
One thing I've noticed is when a young person is trying to get the attention of an adult,
Come on.
sometimes you got to send them a text message so they look
Oh
up
Lord.
at you. So we in the same room
Oh my
using
goodness.
the data plan so I can get a hold. I got to FaceTime you,
Oh,
and we on the
Lord.
couch
Right.
just so I can get you right. And like when your mom used to call you to the room to have you bring the remote.
yeah.
It's like now I gotta call your cell phone just to tell you to look at me. Like,
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
when I know y'all seen for those the unholy folks, if you see Family Guy, there's a series where Stewie keeps calling his mom name. He said, "Mom, mommy, mama," and he starts calling her Lois. He starts calling her by her first name. She's finally like, "What?" Like, yeah.
And you know what? That's a reverse, because we are the parents used to call my mom. I can say for my mom, and she used to call us Barbara, niece, and Melly. One of y'all.
Whole name.
What
Yeah.
it's she didn't call all her daughters,
Yeah.
but she's like, one of y'all know what I'm talking about. So that, to me, that was like a flip side of now the child calling the mommy is like, and I call my mama, mommy, and all of that. But she's a rest in peace, Miss Howard. June the 20, right before my birthday, 2022, she passed. But her legacy still goes on. So all the time, and we live through our legacies. And but go ahead. But back to the calling of the.
They say everything. My dad used to tell me like everything is good.
Yeah.
Something is good or bad.
Mhm.
Everything can be used for either.
Yes.
So it's how we're using these things.
Absolutely.
What happens is our attention span gets so short that we like we just it's like a repeating cycle. So it's like, okay, let me put this down. No,
That's good.
And then I'm like, oh, I'm bored. Let me pick this back up. Or let me put it down. I know I need to stop this.
Right.
Something trigger off in your hair. I'm like, okay, let me just and now you scrolling, doing what you do for like 30, 45 minutes. It is wild. It's a wild cycle. Also, you get all that information that we really don't like always want for our kids or want for us. And so just being on it is just, I'm not even gonna cap. The other day, I left my phone somewhere. I'm not gonna disclose. I left my phone somewhere, and then I went in the house, went to sleep. Right? I was like, "Where's my phone?" So I used my iPad. I found where my phone was. I found my phone was safe. So I was like, "I don't really need this right now."
Right.
Had some great sleep,
Say,
a great rising.
say that again.
Like, some great sleep. I know you're supposed to get some sleep. Get off the phone. Just go to sleep. You get up. You don't have to look at your phone. It's just a great process or stretch.
It can be addictive.
Yeah,
It's an addiction. People talk about drugs and all that, but they don't understand, and they have not placed the phone and your devices into
dopamine.
Come on, say that now. Come on, y'all.
Level, so and I know because I'm both on Instagram and YouTube. I have an addiction where I'm going to multiple videos, putting them in my queue just to listen to music. And when you have sometimes I don't want to say attention deficit disorder.
Right.
Sit down, meditation. I was taking a yoga class. Even the amount of times I'll go and look up a question instead of just listening to the video.
Right.
But like you have to use those practices that are there to help you and really utilize them. Sometimes if you're doing meditation or listening to the singing bowl and you have these thoughts come into your head, sometimes just sit there and let the thoughts come and then let them go. Versus when to pick up.
Can you repeat that?
Sometimes you just gotta sit back and let the thoughts go. Let them come and let them go. And it's difficult because both of us, one thing we didn't mention is that we're spoken word artists.
Yes, so and we're gonna do some pieces too.
Okay.
We'll have y'all do some pieces if you want.
So
if you want.
There's a lot of times there's all these lyrics or these words, and we're like, oh, we gotta write that down because as soon as you go, you lose that rhyme, you lose that beat. And so there's a lot of times, and I'm saying this because I actually have to go do a poem for someone's birthday today.
Oh, yay!
So it's a blessing and an interesting experience to honor somebody, but it's like there's times where it's like let it go.
And I'm a spoken word artist too, y'all. That's where I got my name, Sistah Mellow.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's just what I had to share. Just sometimes you gotta let it flow and let it go.
Good question.
Yeah.
You gonna share some too?
Oh no. Well, I'll see. I'll see because it's the show. Like I said, it's not about me. I'm always yielding to make sure that my guests are heard.
And we'll just go off the word.
We're gonna go off the word. There you go. He knows how I get down is going off of the words. I'm also when I'm looking up, it's just not ignoring you. It's just I'm centering. You already know. Y'all know how the downloads come and the ancestors and the Lord give you. And it's like that's people that know me know. I'm like, oh, she's just in the zone. But so with that, now starting in, thank you for sharing the information starting off because that was like the foundation. That's the base of where we're gonna now build to and go. Honoring your creativity, which is your craft. How, first of all, how did you know that you were a spoken word artist, or this was your captivate, building and growing? How did you know? What shifted in your life to get you to say, I'd love to do this? What triggered? Because the reason why I'm asking is because there is a lot of creativity, as we know, in this world and in our people. And the COVID showed that. business was designed and made and started and the whole nine. So we are creative beings. We're creative people. We're resilient. And we're standing on the shoulders of our ancestors. I never, ever, ever, ever forget that. My father, our family business was Wendy's Cheesecake Bakery in the Bayview District on 3rd Street. So I come from entrepreneurship. So mine is like, oh my God, do you know you can turn that into a business? I just go like, ah! Or not only into a business, but into inspire and to encourage somebody else. So that's how I knew for me. I was like, "Mm." And then didn't know that being inside of the shop, our parents was among 5 of the oldest African American businesses in San Francisco at the time, and that was Wendy's Cheesecake Bakery, which was our parents, um, Everett Jones, and then Marcus Bookstore, Duke City in the Fillmore, and Samuel Jordan down on 3rd. They're still there, and it was one more. Lord have mercy. Something I did say Marcus Bookstore, right?
Yeah, you said that.
Okay, something I can't think of the
You
other
said
ones.
5 right there though, but
Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah. So being inside of the bakery, my father always told us that it doesn't matter who walks through these doors, whether they have 0 pennies to billions or millions of dollars, you treat them all the same. So I was like a condition, not conditioned, I was shaped into community and to help community and to love on community and to make sure community it leaves a legacy and that we leave a legacy for our people. So that's how I was shaped and molded. Even though at the time, even though being groomed into that, still went my own way. We all have our distractions, but praise the Lord for distractions. It made me who I am today. And I would say I would not change it for the world because it now helps me with my purpose and the things that I do. And that's what my nails represent, that anything in life is possible. Never, ever let nobody tell you what you cannot do. Be extraordinary, be it not ordinary. And that's who I am. And I teach people to be inspired to be extraordinary, not ordinary. We're unique individuals. But I'm sorry, not more than me. Y'all go ahead.
I like that being extraordinary. Like I said, my name is Poppy Grande. And
Poppy Grande?
Poppy Grande.
Okay.
Yes, and before where it should start off as a name, it like evolved into a motto for me.
Yes.
Reminding myself to live big.
Ooh,
And I now do that in every
can you say
situation.
that again? I love that.
At first, Poppy Grande was a name.
Okay.
Then it evolved into a motto, reminding myself to live big. And so I do that every day, everywhere that I go. I'm 100% myself.
Yes.
Even times where I'm extroverted, times I'm introverted, I'm still just being me. And I want to say I have been doing what I was doing before I even knew like this was meant for me. I think the thing that really triggered it for me, I was talking to a family friend, and I was just getting out of a position that I really didn't like too much. And then she was like, how come you don't work in the like music industry? So she introduced me to Yoshi's.
Yes.
Yoshi's, and I started working there. I met so many cool people, artists,
Look
road
at that.
managers, and
See?
yeah, like just all those connections. And then I was there every day practicing, talking to people.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this is meant for me. I love that customer service, just that
Yeah,
connection
yeah,
with
yeah,
people,
yeah,
and I love being able to be in this environment around creativity. So
yeah.
after all this time, I was just able to like, start going out to more open mics. I had a challenge to do 70 open mics, did that, and just kept evolving. So I'll say that it happened. I knew that I was meant for this in the process of doing
See, because a lot of people think they have to wait. It's like, no, just start doing something, being creative, and then because it's not gonna wait. It doesn't work that way. It don't work that way. Right. It doesn't work. Say that again.
It's not gonna come if you don't cultivate.
Hey, hey, hey. You got to cultivate. You got to go into hibernation. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Let's see. I started my journey of artistry, I call it, as a young person who loved gospel music.
Yes.
So,
And I do too.
Yeah, always. That's why we're on the inspirational gospel radio music station.
Well, go ahead. Look, y'all go ahead.
24-hour inspirational and gospel music on Believe Radio.
There we
here
go.
in Oakland, California.
See that? See, this is how we do. This is what we do. We work together.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And all these artists up here, I know they songs. So I started like sing. Like my mom is a singer.
Oh, yeah.
She loves to sing, I should say. And so I would have like the times I'd sing with the choir.
Yes.
With the men's choir. You know, Jesus was my go-to song. And I just loved music.
Mm.
I had an iPad, would download music, and would just always be listening to music. I love music more than I love listening to people at times. And so,
Me too.
you
I'm
know,
kidding.
you sit down, put your headphones in, you go through the decades.
Woo!
Like that was something that helped me get through trying time. You know, someone
Mm-hmm.
wanted me to sit
Come
down
on
and
now.
read, but I was like, I'm listening to this music and these words.
Yes.
And so I became a DJ,
Mm-hmm.
lo and behold, by making playlists and just playing music. But in high school, I also became a public speaker. So
Okay.
I would go to the board meetings
Yeah.
and there was public comment. So, oh, you can go up there and tell off the board of education.
That's right.
I can tell y'all what's not happening in these schools that I
Yep.
think is
And it's your
happening.
responsibility to do so.
Yeah. So I started becoming an advocate for Skyline.
Mm.
Through college track, they would make sure you did an internship or something meaningful for the summer and had
Mm-hmm.
like working hours for something.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had academic affairs, student
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 life.
life, college completion.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was always in an environment where I could speak. I was doing film and media with KDOL, and I've mentioned this last time I was
Well, no, to mention
here. But,
again because we have
we
new
had
listeners, and
KDOL youth
even if
beat. So
hey,
I was able to experience. It wasn't the mayor at the time that I did it, but the police chief, and then Kyla
mm,
Johnson Trammell, who was the superintendent.
mm-hmm.
You know, being on camera, being to interview her, being on the news a couple times, just always being in the spotlight, realizing that my voice, like you said, our voices do matter when you have something to say.
Absolutely.
And
Ooh, say that
you
again.
know, when you're speaking on behalf of the community, and the community knows that like you're the voice for them,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people are shy. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't know how to get in front of people, and then some of us aren't trained on how to speak in front of
Mm-hmm.
people, how to
Mm-hmm.
keep that attention and cultivate the energy, and then hit those bullet points within those 2 minutes, so that
Mm, go ahead on,
people is
baby.
hearing
Oh,
what you got to
look, I
say.
tell you, see, y'all make me proud.
If you've
Y'all make me
ever
so
been
proud.
to a town hall meeting, you know they
Oh
got
yeah,
them 2
2 minutes,
minutes. It's just
and
like a
it's up.
funeral,
30 seconds.
you know. And being with the Black church, we learned it at the funerals. So
Right, right,
you
right.
know, first giving honor to God.
There
He
you
was a
go.
good man. I'm out.
There we go.
So yeah, I love to speak, and people would try and silence me because either you talking too much, you
Mm,
telling everybody's business,
speak
and
it.
hey, this is why we say we need therapy. Y'all
Right,
mad
right.
at y'all kids for telling everybody's business, but y'all ain't letting us talk about it with someone who's trained on how to help us get through
Say that again,
Mm.
please.
Listen,
And
don't
there's nothing wrong with therapy, people.
exact. That's
Go to the right
listen.
ones. Go to the ones that understands your culture
Yeah,
and
the
you
more that you
that
trust,
been
who
through
you
some
feel
things.
comfortable in, and get what needs to be got get
Yeah.
received.
Yeah.
Now keep going. I'm so sorry.
And another thing though, you'd be surprised, or not you'd be surprised, but
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a lot of people out there listening who'd be surprised. You know, I have encountered therapists who did not look like me but understood me as well.
Mm.
And it's a trying time when you're like, I want someone who understands me, but also like I just need therapy, and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want to get free therapy. There are people who are not Afro descended who
Yeah, yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
offering free therapy for folks of African American descent,
Right,
or
right.
of all of our descents, right? And so I just say that because I've been introduced into a space where my therapist, or the people who I have known to go to for support, didn't always look like me, but they're the ones listening and supporting me still through. And sometimes you need those people to not understand you at a certain time for you to also realize what you're going through.
Oh,
Because we
that's
make
good.
things a big deal,
Right.
but when I'm ready to experience and tell you something, they're like, okay, you forgive yourself. Go on
Mm-hmm,
to the next
mm-hmm,
thing.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
some of our cultural things as a big deal for us
Yeah.
ain't a big deal for someone else who's listening, and it actually helps you to think through that and not over rationalize what's going on.
Now that's a different perspective, folks. You heard it here on Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational gospel music station, and you're tuned into the Eyes of the Conscious Soul with your sister B Mellow. And I want to thank my co-host, Mr. Rosenity. He's at the Freedom School as of right now. He has an art show
Nice.
for the community and for the youth. So we're honoring that. And then we want to make sure that you tune in every second Saturday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. We have the corner, which you're on today, the Cafe Le Blue Lounge. And then we have education, excuse me, the medicine hour. And then we have education is the best medicine. And then there is on the fourth Saturday is the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show with then I have co-hosts on there too. That is the Doc, that is the Prince of Hearts, and then that is the Doc, the Prince of Hearts, and the Voice. Thank you. And then of course we have our new show on the fifth Saturdays of the month, and that is Voices That Care, and we highlight and support reentry and mental wellness. But with that, on that note, I do want to share that the NAMI Contra Costa, if you are um, experiencing anything that has to do with your mental well being, we always want to make sure that you are healthy. We have tips for managing stress, and that's to take a break from the news. It's
Mm-hmm.
causing you to feel overwhelmed, and then maintain social contact by phone, text, or email with those who support you. Treat your body kindly, eat healthy foods, avoid excessive alcohol, and exercise as you are able. The contact information is 925-465-3864. I will repeat it. It is 925-465-3864, and I am the outreach coordinator for the African American Uplift Program. And we are here to inspire and encourage our communities to stay connected to resources. And we lend a helping hand through Zoom meetings. We have a faith based a Zoom meeting. We have a mental wellness Wednesdays. We have one for the youth, for the men. So tap into NAMI Contra Costa. You can go on the website, and it is www.namicontracosta.org. And you're going to definitely check out some of the things that we utilize and help. Again, there's faith-based focus grief support groups, living with purpose support groups, African American support group, men and wellness and faith support group, and then we have a transitional age youth support group. NAMI Contra Costa offers culturally sensitive, non-clinical support services for African American individuals. We provide resources and information to help people find their way during difficult times. So we definitely want to make sure that you contact NAMI Contra Costa. They are one of our sponsors. Elevate Gospel Ministry. Pastor Larry Austin is also one of our sponsors, and we want to thank them for the Eyes of the Conscience Soul and the support that they give. Definitely, we want to make sure that you stay connected to your community. We have these young men that are here in the studios with us today, and we are talking about honoring our creativity and knowing this is your craft, and how do you honor that and keep it solid and be authentic in what you do. Be yourself, be real. This is what the world is needing today, along with the other things that what we are talking about. So where do we leave off on?
Well, Ashe,
Ashe.
in light of that church announcement, definitely something.
Got to pay the bills. Got to pay the bills.
Before the praise break starts, we're gonna get through
That's
these
right.
announcements. On a serious note,
Mhm.
there has been some incidents happening in the community that's really
Mm.
rocked a lot of the folks who we're close to.
Mhm.
O'Shea Sibley, his stabbing was
No.
yes. I think this happened in Manhattan. A young man who was dancing at a gas station
Oh my.
was stabbed. He was 28 and just wrongfully killed for expressing himself out and about by teenagers.
Wow.
So the person who is responsible, I heard, had turned himself in,
Yeah.
and folks are praying and hoping that justice will
Yes.
be served. And when it comes to yeah,
Yeah.
also with Angus Cloud, a Bay Area
Mm.
native who was 25, had passed away due to, I believe, drug overdose related
Mhm. Mhm.
circumstances. And I heard his father had also passed recently, like within weeks or within before his like within a week before his passing as
Right.
well, which is why his emotional state might have been
Yeah.
what it was.
The mental wellness we
Um,
have to. Go
and
ahead.
for my young folks, Angus Cloud, he starred in a show that Zendaya had produced on HBO called Euphoria, which definitely highlights what it's like for young people to be exposed to drug abuse and the
Mm.
overuse and
Yeah.
overindulgence of substances.
Mhm.
So yeah, those are just two really prevalent. I'm not even sure prevalent is a word, but
Yeah. 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 What? Hey, whatever. But they
relevant,
know what we mean.
precise.
Yeah. We
Those are
know what we
two
mean.
situations that have
Mm.
definitely affected. Like it's our young folks. Like
Yeah.
I'm not even at the age that these two individuals were. So for young people to be losing it
Yeah.
on so many hands
Yeah.
from and they're both in areas of expressing themselves. One was I want to say an Alvin Ailey dancer. I believe that's what I had seen. I couldn't get too much into details,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
but He was a dancer expressing himself and was murdered. And then an individual who showcased what it's like to go through depression and these experiences on the big screen was going through that
Mm.
behind, yeah. And
You never know what people are going through, and you never judge a book by its cover.
mm,
So we have to be more sensitive to what's happening in people's lives. Our mental well-being is being under attack, and our spirits too. So people all over wherever I go, I'm always speaking to people, I'm always encouraging people, and people look at me like I'm crazy at times, but it's like it's okay. But what can you do? And I was on my way in here, and it was a picture of Mandela, and he said, "What can one person do?"
mhm,
So what can one person do?
Inspire
You
other
know,
people.
Come on, what can one person do? You can give someone a smile. You don't know what they're going through. You can say hello. Just those simple little things that you think is not significant. You don't know when the last time they even heard that. Or you're gonna be good. Keep your head up. Be inspired. Whatever. I'm praying for you. Or I understand. Whatever. We need. Go ahead.
the best thing you can do is find out
Mm.
who you are and then be you.
Oh my God.
Marvin Sapp said he saw the best in me when everyone else around could only see the worst.
Come
But
on.
if you are being the best person that you can and everybody sees you being the best that you can in every circumstance,
Come on.
so you said inspire the youth or inspire somebody.
Yeah.
And I thought back. It was a celebration of life for my great uncle.
Hmm.
And after the service, a young lady, I hold her in my hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hadn't
Yeah.
seen her for a couple of church services, but
Right.
she recognized me. It's my cousin, but
Yeah.
I have an extended family. She
Yes.
pointed. She said, "Him came right to me,"
Oh.
and it's like no matter who you present where you are,
That's
someone's
good.
going to see and love who you are and support that. So
Yeah.
if you can find out who the best person you are and
Mm.
spread that love, that's all we need is for each person to be being the best person they can be when they
Yeah.
are. And that's what you got to think about who you are, because some people want to be the best that they like. Some people have that IDGAF mentality, and I
Yeah.
know some folks gonna have to go on Urban Dictionary to look that up because I hope everyone's holy. But some people act like they don't care, and they act
Hmm.
like they're bigger than everybody else, and
Hmm.
that
Hmm. Hmm.
they don't care about other people's feelings.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And I've never been. I'm a very, I want to say emotional, but like
Yeah.
empathetic. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
when you're in tune with your emotions and when you're sensitive to how other people feel, you become a different person.
Yes.
And especially, I think that comes when you're ignored a lot. If someone has been ignored and
Mm.
feels like people haven't paid enough attention to them, they're more hyper aware to how other people feel, because I want to make people feel
That's
comfortable when I'm
good.
around them. Because I don't want to be in a space of discomfort. If I feel like you're making me uncomfortable, I want to be able to tell you that.
That's right.
And I want you to also tell me that so I can do what I can to not make that happen
Yeah.
without changing who I am as an individual, as a person. So I found out the best way that I can be in certain areas. And also, so we talked about college track. In
Hmm.
high school, I had so many different internships and spaces. I could go to one space and someone's talking about they don't like my personality,
Mm.
but I also go to all these other places and someone's talking about don't change or
Yeah.
love how you present yourself. So it's complicated.
Yeah.
It was a struggle. Like, who am I supposed to be if someone
And
likes
that
me
is
and
so
And
someone
good.
you
doesn't?
never can
Please.
let somebody else, detract from who you are. Somebody's always not gonna like you for
Yeah.
some odd reason.
Right?
They're, people go through different things. People learn different from the same things.
Right.
So you can't really, put too much opinion into like too much emphasis on what everybody is saying about you.
That's good.
But you know who you are.
That's good. And so the youth out there and family members and community, what these young men are saying, this is what we need to make sure that we're listening to. Let them be themselves. And it's complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And it's complicated being an adult, 59 years old. And I tell people all the time, even though I have long nails, I go into spaces, people talk about me all the time. And I can feel it. And I know when they're saying it. And I know the whole nine, but what helped me in my time of trouble was God came in. He told me that you uniquely made and you
Mm-hmm.
need to not be like everybody else.
Yeah.
Be extraordinary. Be who you are. Be authentic. And that was what my father was. I was brought up like that. He like, you real talk up in this house. Being real. And he gave us the freedom. And I was leading into that actual word of freedom. How do we have the freedom to not be, even though we have to deal in society, how do we have the freedom?
I was just
Because it's
talking.
hard. Go ahead.
So I just got off this meeting, and
Mm,
in this meeting we were talking about different. It's like a healing process through
that's good.
poetry,
Mm, mm, mm,
and
mm,
somebody was telling me like I had a part of my poem where I wrote, and I was like I don't wonder whether I'll be remembered in a century or now, maybe
mm.
later, but now that's not that important to me. And so I was like, I feel the need to like kind of like be accepted by other people, and so I wish that I was able to feel like that. And I'm
Mm.
like, well, for me, it's like that's not really like if I'm going to be remembered, it's not really like a worry of mine
Right.
because I'm just here doing what I love to do,
Ooh.
being myself, and that's why I'll probably be remembered, even though it's not too important to me. I'll
Yeah.
probably be remembered for something because I'm just being myself. I
Right.
have that freedom to move. I'm not restricted by like, okay, I don't want this to be seen or I don't want yada yada yada. I can just do what I do and it's
Hmm.
gonna be because I
Hmm.
am.
And as long as it's not harming anybody,
Exactly.
because being authentic don't mean that you're gonna harm people. Being
Yeah.
authentic is just being you,
You.
and people understanding who you are, and being able to allow you to be, because we all are different. Every flower there is out there, the flowers ain't the same, the mountains ain't the same, the ain't nothing the same. Even our thumbprints is not the same.
Nope.
So how do you have the freedom to walk into your creativity, your craft, owning that, and learning how to be real and be, it is nothing like freedom,
Right.
being yourself, and being able to walk into spaces. I ain't got to let me let's see. When you walk into spaces, and I'm talking political and all this other stuff, I'm not running up trying to find out who you are. I'm gonna come in that space. I'm gonna be me. And majority of the time, people want to know who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's one person asked me, I'm not even gonna mention their name, says, and they were a politician. And it says, Miss B, what I love about you, and I want to know, how do you do it? How do you go into every space I didn't see you in to be yourself?
I love that question. You like
And
that
I
answer?
said, I don't know no other way,
Right.
because I was taught to do that, and I was brought up that way.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives me a freedom, because then growing up, I did have an issue, and then that's where I went spiral down, because I then listened to what somebody else said about me, and it was somebody that I loved. It was one of my school teachers, and she told me that I would never ever be anything in life, and she brought me in front of the class, and I was in high school, so that was just. I was on my
I hate when
way
I hear that.
graduating the whole nine. I went all the way down, and I vowed that no one under my watch. That's why I do the things that I do in the community, and that no one under my watch that I can help that would be treated that way, or won't be able to be freedom to say it, because it's okay to say your part, and then we listen and see what we can grab out of it.
Yeah.
You don't know, because I know I've hurt some people in times, and I asked for forgiveness in the whole nine, but it was because of what someone said, and then I end up bought into what was said, and that's how I responded. And it wasn't that, because they've been knowing me for years. It's no, I didn't just go off. I went off because of something that was said. But however, that does not excuse it. But it's like we learn. God says, well, you need to transform, learn from. That's what, to me. And this is how I then start encouraging people, and went into my own transformation. And well, God, not my own God. I told him, if you real, you show me you real. And he's been showing me 36 years.
Hey, hey.
So,
So you
and
learn
I
what
used
you
to,
can.
yes,
Learn
and
what's
I
important for you.
say that again,
Yeah.
and I share with community. My story is to help heal and encourage somebody else. So I've been cleaning someone from smoking crack for 36 years, and I did it and that was me in my time, younger times, and all of that. But when I told God, you show me that you're real, he's been showing me ever since. I did it cold turkey.
Yeah.
Just turned my
That's
back
what
and
you.
said, God, you want to show me how to do this.
Yeah.
And then he said, and here I am today. So I tell folks, and there it is. That's the nails. Man, he says, that's what my nails represent.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me what can't be done. You can't tell me that our words can't help or heal. And it says the power of death is in your
Back of the
tongue.
tongue.
So right. And it's like, how do we, even though I've learned that when I did lash out and say what I said, there was something for me to learn. God allowed it to happen because it crosses his desk first. So what was I supposed to get out of it? But it wasn't for me to lose the relationship, and maybe sometimes it was. But I don't think that was what it was supposed to be. It was for us to grow. And how do you move and mature?
Right.
God said, I need you to mature, child. You know, it's like, how do we mature? And we're asking our kids and families to mature. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Some people are afraid also of what that freedom
Mm.
looks like, because the question was about
Ooh.
freedom, and you found your freedom from
Mm.
that situation, from that addiction.
Mm.
But some of us are afraid of what we have to come come out of once we are free of it, and what's
Mm.
coming next.
Ooh.
The work that you got to do now. You got to get up and get a job and take your shower and brush your
Oh,
teeth.
you gotta come on here, child.
So, there's a price to freedom.
Yeah.
A lot of people come out of jail, don't know what to do with themselves because their life has not been conditioned in that way of
Come on.
being free out of that institution.
Yes.
And before I even knew I was going to say that, the first thing that was on mind is just how sometimes, like, I don't know who I'm going to be in certain spaces because I'm
Mm-hmm.
not the same person that every time when people see me.
That's right.
Sometimes I want to be free to be myself, but I'm still shy. I'm still nervous. I
Me
might know
too.
myself. I know myself, but I know that I don't know y'all yet.
Right, right, right,
Um, but it's crazy how things have been playing out. People say life is full circle. You never know who you'll
right.
meet.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
remember when we met at the town hall with Keith Carson. Everybody, gave their titles of what they did, and there was no real conversation. But we heard people talk. It was a town hall for Keith Carson
Yes.
and them. But here we are after those years.
Yes.
Met, but I'm not sure if I was a freshman. It was like, I don't know. We wasn't
Yeah.
tight homies. I
Right,
had
right,
a
right,
bunch
right,
of,
right.
Like when I seen it was love every
it was
time.
like, hey, it was
like,
good.
Yes.
me.
Because I was cool with a lot of juniors and seniors, but it was 2-3 years after graduating.
Mm.
Oh, hey, you still here? What you doing? Oh, now we on ciphers together, and now
Yes.
Now we in
we
the same area, same spaces, collaborating with each other. It's
so
just yeah.
that's the freedom that I've received at the
Mm.
moment. You talk about the voice, and I'm like, I'm sure it's the same voice that I know, but the full circleness of it is when you start to receive it. Like I feel free and liberated because enough people have seen me doing my thing
Mm.
that now I'm being
Mhm.
put into the fold. And I'm gonna shout out Miss Cheryl Owsley, who was my fifth grade teacher at Grass Valley. She would say, make sure your name is being in spaces that you have not been put into, and make sure it's a good thing being said. And I tried to make sure, and I know, yeah. So there was
Yeah.
times where I knew that people my age wasn't fooling with me, but I made sure the adults was.
Come on
And so
now.
I'm glad that I would have a naturally good relationship with the majority of my teachers who were open to making that happen.
Right.
Because that's a big part. If your teacher don't believe in you, I remember raising my hand and I knew I had the right answer, and I was so excited because
Right.
if I wasn't into any of your lessons, but I paid attention for this one,
Come on.
I want to get that answer in. And especially if you're a verbal person, because
Yeah.
when you're writing it down, like show your work, like there's no energy for that.
Right, right, right.
But to verbally do it and then get that accolade, that's the same. I want to say either dopamine or
Yeah, yeah,
serotonin.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the same energy level that you get when you get that that gratification on Instagram and Twitter and everything.
Mm.
So when you get that energy from those people paying attention, that's why I want to go into education, but I also need to make sure I do some political stuff
Yeah.
where our educators are getting paid. Like you
Mhm.
got to start a
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
foundation to make sure that we got
Yeah.
the money and the housing, so support ourselves. Because like I see the disparity, but how can I support the disparity without putting myself in another disparity?
That's right.
Mm.
And right. That's how what is good. You know how we do.
Exactly.
We can do that all together.
Mm.
You spit it as a poet, and I'm a poetry teacher.
Oh,
Okay.
right on. Come on. And if y'all pull up your poetry now, pull up. Well, you know we on inspirational, so we have to
Yes,
kind
I know.
of some things. And I always tell people there's a time and place for different spaces for different things, but we know how to get down. We know how to again. While y'all finding them, I'm going to once again, you have tuned into Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational gospel and music station. We want to thank you all for tuning into the Eyes of the Conscience Soul with your Sister B Mellow, and my co-host that's not here with me today, and that is Mr. Brandon, and his is Rosenity is his stage name. So I want to give a shout out to him. But every uh first Saturday of the month is the Eyes of the Conscience. So on the corner of the Cafe Le Bleu Lounge, which we have the Artist Talk, Why I Dream, She Who Believes Takes Off the Mask. Every second Saturday of the month, we have excuse me, the Medicine Hour with my co-host, Mr. George Pearson. This is where we believe building a better tomorrow starts with us, and we topics we cover for our African American community is health issues and concerns, healthy eating habits, education, financing, and politics in the African American community. Mr. Pearson is a clinician assistant. So he is a PA, and of course, he brings to you education is the best medicine. And he always promotes and encourages us to make sure that we educate ourselves when we're going in front of physicians to let them know what's happening with you. Be educated about what's going on in your life and whatever diseases and things that they say. He makes sure that he wants you to make sure that you are full aware of it. And when you're in there talking to your physician, you can say, hey, just don't just take people words for what it is. It's like, educate yourself. So it was really dope that he created education is the best medicine. And with that, we have the fourth Saturday of the month is called the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show with my co-host, the Doc, and the Voice and the Prince of Hearts. And then every fifth Saturday of the month, we have the Voices That Care. Again, we all want to thank Education is the Best Medicine as a sponsor. We want to thank Nami Contra Costa as a sponsor, and we want to thank Elevate Gospel Ministries, Pastor Larry Austin as our sponsor, and BH Brilliant Minds Project Inc. We want to thank them too. So again, you are tuned into the Corner Cafe Le Bleu Lounge, and we have the Hood Scholars in here promoting and sharing and encouraging our community on today, and we definitely want to have them share some of their creativity, and this is their craft, and it's about today honoring your creativity and your craft. Hon- Look, honoring it, honing in on it, and expressing it. So whoever wants to go first.
I seen his screen and I'm like, all right, mine is definitely shorter. So
Okay.
the funny part, I have so many like.
And what inspired you to
Yes.
write that?
Well, inspiration comes day to day in multiple ways.
Mhm.
I listen to music, so sometimes I listen to gospel music and start having a solo prayer or start having my minister moment. So my big mama nicknamed me preacher. I'd
Hey.
be in my diaper with a little toy microphone,
Oh.
blessing all the folks.
Oh,
So
special.
once y'all hear the poem, y'all gonna be like, "All right, Mr. Preacher Man." Um, so I don't even remember what I wrote when I wrote this.
Mhm.
At times, there's just I'll have ideas and start writing. Like I
Yes.
said, I have a birthday to present at today, so I have so many drafts of what I thought I was gonna do. So
Yeah.
it's in pieces, and it's like I don't know which. So I don't know what this occasion was for.
Right.
Sometimes I'm speaking at a funeral. So
But it's your
here we
craft.
go. This is the craft,
That's the craft.
and y'all gonna recognize some of these verses if y'all follow the Bible. He knows the master plan.
Mm.
All power is in his hand. He gave us new life. What an ultimate sacrifice. For my sins, your son bled, a crown of thorns upon his head. Oh, what love he had for me, that he would die way back on Calvary. That's love. Oh, what love! Oh, what love! By the power of his blood. It'll never lose its power. I need thee every hour. Let it rain, Lord, send a shower. Shower down, shower down, shower down. Because of who you are, Lord, I give you praise each and every day, in each and every way. You hear me when I pray, and although I go astray, you keep on blessing me. You keep on blessing me.
Woo! Give your stage name and your DJ name. What's your name? What's
You
your
know, LJ the DJ, because
L
I
D
keep it mixing on the ones and
L
twos.
J
LJ the DJ,
the
Little
DJ.
John, Little John the DJ.
Hey.
And yeah, JP2 on the mic.
All right.
And if you for the gospel heads, I'm making a gospel playlist. We got our family
Hey.
reunion coming up, and so I'm DJing for the family reunion. I have to
Hey.
go through and find all the cool songs, and I have also another radio show that I do at Chabot.
Okay.
My brother over here has been on as well,
Hey.
and so we're curating those good vibes for those folks who want to.
What is it?
What is
it called?
It's
The show.
KCRH 89.9 FM. That's the station it's on.
Yeah.
And I'm going to rebrand the name this next semester. It was just JP2 Morning Show or the
Mm.
Rising Show because we ain't in morning no more. We celebrating new
Hey,
life. We
hey, hey,
celebrate.
hey, hey.
You know,
Right.
so we make sure that
Rising.
folks know that we are rising
Grand
and
Rising.
developing.
Yes.
So we gonna
Asheo.
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 So we're gonna rebrand the name, but it's on 89.9 FM, which you can pick up on the Bay Area. If
Okay.
y'all actually go on your phones, you can look it up on Safari or Google. Look up KCRH 89.9 FM and actually get a link, and you can listen to it through the link when there's somebody in there. So we'll make sure to keep y'all up
How
to date.
people can get in contact with you all to since you on that note.
Yes. So my Instagram, my personal Instagram is JPIINDMIX. JP2 in the mix underscore. You can find it if you look up LJ the DJ on Instagram and pull up. And then on Facebook, you'll see my name. You can find me by the government name on Facebook, which I wish I would have changed it once. I was like, if I would have known early on, they'd be like, first, last name. I'd be putting the real stuff. I wish I would have,
Man, I be trying to change that now.
you feel me?
It's too late.
Twitter and Facebook, they got you bent. Now I'm like, dang, all these people I didn't want to find me after high school finding me.
Oh.
Yes, so I have two quick short poems.
Oh no,
for y'all.
honey, this is y'all show. Do your
Okay.
thing.
And
And if you got another piece, pull it up.
for this first one, I think I was inspired by Janae.
Mm-hmm.
Aiko, we be outside. She said something and it really, really spoke to me.
Right.
And so you might recognize it if you're a fan of hers.
Okay. And say the name again.
Janae.
Janae.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. The social life was meant for me.
Mm.
I've always said peer pressure wasn't a thing. That if I do, it's because I allowed me to. Yeah, environment plays a role, but I've been pushed before. Back then, I only fell to the floor. Now, I do all I can for me. But no, I don't compete. I complete.
Ooh.
Do you know the difference? The L. Do you know what the L means? Love. Do you know what love means? Living on valued energy. And life is just love in full effect. And so I hope you love me. Better yet, I know you love me. I see it in your walk, your talk, the way your hands clap, the way you come back to me after a long day. I see how you value me in your own way. I see how you glance to see what I'm doing. I see how you question me to learn my philosophy. I know your intent. To me, it's clear to see. Sweet like candy. I wish I could boost your energy instead of giving you cavities. Yes.
Yes. Go ahead. You got to go ahead on the second one.
Okay, I'm gonna say poem at the end of that.
Poem.
Shout out to
Okay.
Junie
Okay.
Speaks, Junie that speaks. She said the poem thing, and I love saying poem after the end. People are like, "Did you finish? You done?"
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be like, "Okay." Next one is called Dreams.
Dreams.
When I dream a dream, my focus is to control it. My locus is eternal. I draw my world like a poet. I didn't know I was meant for this. Remember sitting in my house wanting Christmas gifts, but I was born with one breath. I was born with none. She made a prayer. She made it happen. I prayed to be the greatest poet ever and got to acting. I felt the passion that, I suffered all the time. Now I stand below the light, spit lyrics so sublime. Remember sitting in my crib feeling locked away. To this day, that's still the most beneficial growth time for me. I learned to sit down and read, really to do anything. Spark my imagination. I dream we were kings and queens. I said, spark my imagination. I dream we were kings and queens. That's the truth, but they won't tell you that. Get back to the roots is how we really fix all this. They call me crazy because I believe in spirits and destroy history. They really scared of what we is. And me, I only think of things I want to see. Some say that's not realistic, but I know I create what I dream. Poem. Yes.
Nice.
Oh my God. Go ahead. Y'all give your information.
PG Poppy Grande. If you're ever looking for me, Poppy Grande on Instagram. The I is a 1, the E is a 3 because 13 is my favorite number.
Hey.
If y'all got SoundCloud, y'all like music, I'm there at MC Titty Muscle.
Okay.
I'm also on Spotify as Poppy Grande as well. So yeah, come check us out. Exactly.
Okay.
I've been in the gym. We're gonna get them messages popping to you. Pinpoint training facility. So this poem I wrote, and actually it's funny. There's a lot of times I don't like read read poems
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
because when you're always like writing something down, you got something original going on. He's like, I want to backtrack. Sometimes these are
Right.
specific pieces for specific moments. So this poem actually is also posted on my Instagram. I was reading it for the NAACP at their it was just a Black History Month celebration.
Okay.
So not just a, but it was a Black History Month celebration at Chapel of the Chimes. An
Okay.
interesting place to have, you know.
Right.
So this is the poem. The theme of the event was remembering the past.
Mm.
Remembering the past. Where would you like to start? I heard we were once kings until we got consumed by material things. And of course, we praise Dr. King for the peace that he did bring. But can you tell me, does freedom still ring? Memories of the past are sweet, but those memories never seem to last more than the more time begins to pass. And I must constantly protect my mind from the wickedness of this world. We remember the past, but how many of you wanted to forget 2020 to 2022? I feel like a blindfold has been over my eyes as the media highlights every time our people die. Our lives have been on hold and hope has felt so bleak. There has been moments of joy, of course, but the stream is but a dream when I search for encouragement. Then I remember the past. I remember that I am standing on the shoulders of my ancestors, and my great grandmother's brothers were over 6 feet tall, shoulders so high they were like giants. Giants so tall they could leave footprints on the moon. We must also acknowledge that we did not get here alone. These fields are filled with loved ones who helped carry these generations forward and continue to protect us. But the past is the past, and if I could have the last word, I would say leave it the way it is. And let us look to the hills with our heads held high. We've come so far and we've got so much further to go. Let us engage, encourage, and empower this next generation because it starts with us. It starts right now. You might want me to show you how to do it, but how do you write a blueprint about love, respect, humility, patience, and dignity? Let's find out together. Poem.
Oh yeah.
Y'all
Yes.
did that. This is so dope. This is why I love doing what I do. And this is why I love being around you guys. You guys give me the energy I need to continue to go on. No, seriously. That's why I surround myself around you all, the young adults. And I call y'all my nephews. You're my
Yep.
nephews. So that's it's so important for me because God leads me and he all the assignments and the different things that he gives me to do for our community, for our people, this and the whole nine, it's like I'm fed through you all. And then I'm reminded that it's my responsibility to give you a platform. I don't take it lightly. And it feeds me. I'm like, that's why I'm living. I'm living my life. And I'm loving my life because of you all. And seriously, folks that know me know that if it wasn't for you all, for the youth, adults, they're grown, they're whatever. But for y'all, I gotta work for y'all. I gotta live for you all. And I know this, and I'm honored, and I'm so grateful that you guys, that God, and I believe in divine time, divine order. And as you were talking earlier about the time that we met, I believe God will place people in your life for a reason, and it's totally up to you to figure out why. It may be years down the line, it may be weeks, it may be months, it may be days. It doesn't matter. He places people in your life for a reason, and knowing this is my reason of knowing that you guys are in my life for this time, for the season right now, and you giving you opening up a space in my heart and in my mind and in my spirit to the things that the ancestors and the Lord want me to do. So this is just I'm so full and honored about y'all being in my life. I just don't, man. I woo. Oh.
In our lives as well. You're helping us to continue to grow. So thank you for this platform. Thank you for your energy you've given to us. Hope y'all heard that, but yeah,
Go ahead.
she heard that.
Yeah, I did. I did. And that's what's important. And like I said, this is not the first, this is not the last. I definitely want you. The Juneteenth is about it. I'm so grateful. This was our 16th year. We're moving into 17. I tell people all the time that event, God gave it to me just to be a part of getting it going and its legacy. It's you all. It's for me to pass it to you guys. So next year, I need you there. The stage, the second stage, along with the other folks, my other young folks, that's y'all thing. This is y'all. Y'all take it, you run with it, you say, Miss B, so we need to do. And I tell you, I'm just a vessel. I'm just a tool. And I'm so grateful that God still has me here today because I could have been gone. I could have almost died like 4 times. Almost died 4 times. Almost went to prison for life. So my work, I know why God has me here. I know why he took me out of that and been dealing with me for those 36 years of when I asked him, if you real, show me you real. And he's talked to me and he tells me what to do and he showed me. So I can't go. I get and I respect everybody's game. I respect everybody where they are. I respect their religion. I respect who they believe. I respect who they trust. And it's just, I know for me who stepped in my darkest times, in my hours, in my life, and saved my life. And I'm here today because of that. So y'all, family out there in our community, we have to lift up our young folks because if it's it took even the Black Panthers, it was young people, it was the young folks, it was young minds, it was young energy. You all set the tone and set the pace and took us to levels that we need to go to. And I'm telling you, we have to listen to them, we have to give them space, we have to be a part of change, and we have to believe. We have to believe that we can do this. We can get out of this. And we didn't get a chance to get into the artificial intelligence thing what I wanted to, but on the next show we will. And whatever, yeah, and whatever. There we go. Say that again.
So Mr. Chris Chapman, Baba
Hey,
C with
hey, hey,
Kingmakers,
hey,
you
hey,
already know.
hey, hey.
He learned that AI, the artificial intelligence, that we have to tap into our ancestral intelligence, and it's in our DNA. It's in
Come on.
that tree, and we got to tap back into that tree of life and pull back out from those roots.
People, family, community. You heard it here on Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational gospel music through the eyes of the conscious soul with Sister B Mellow as a tool. Um, I want you guys to have the final word. And there's some other shows that I need for you guys to be on, and I'm gonna yield those shows to you. But go ahead.
I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. Um, my last words would just be to be yourself.
Yeah.
I just want to shout out a few people as well.
Oh, for sure.
Shout out to
The
the
family,
L9.
please.
Yeah, the L9. Find a THAILLNAI. Dancer, poet, singer,
Yes.
rapper outside doing everything. Hairstylist, if y'all ever need to get your hair done, braids by Nye __.
Yeah.
Omi ain't worried. That's my other sister. We really outside. She just dropped a project called Art of Loyalty.
Oh.
Yeah, it's an art.
Whoa.
Yes,
Whoa.
so
I need a on
really,
here too, y'all. And all of them.
yes. I know somebody. His name is his name, but all had choices. Just came out. It's on Spotify, Apple Music.
Hey.
What you use? We got that too. Everywhere.
Yes.
So look us up. Yes. And I appreciate y'all again. Thank you, Jonathan.
Yes.
Invited me out. Like, this is great.
And my comments, when you mentioned like where you do this for the young people, I totally forgot how many young people do so many things for the adults in their life. At times when I didn't want to exist and I was like, I don't know if God's gonna wake me up in the morning. I was like, nah, if I don't want that to be a burden on my grandmother, on my great grandmother. I was like, there's individuals and adults out here who care about me that I don't want to let down, especially if they feel that loss from me doing something stupid that would leave me not being in this world. So that's when I had to really focus on what does the legacy look like? What do I be remembered as, or how are people going to feel when they hear me? Because I walked down the halls and someone who didn't know me said they didn't like me. And I was like, I don't know you.
Right.
So
Like what?
yeah, I was like, okay. So for our young people, I hope you listen to this. I'm going to be sending this link out. We have like representation matters, being respectful matters, being a gentleman matters, being I don't know how to say like being classy, not ladylike, but how to be classy as an individual. You feel me? Because for our young ladies, because for our young men, we can tell y'all all day, but our young ladies, there's a level of class where we're not saying that y'all not being anything else, but just how do you present yourself? And I was gonna say, because there's something I was gonna say that matters. What does it matter? The reason it matters because like I fell into artistry as a way of speaking about trauma at times. A lot of us have experienced traumas that we don't want other people to go through. We don't want y'all to go through in order to boss up.
Yes.
Maturity, that's the word. Maturity matters, and you can be mature at any age. It starts very young,
That's
and it's important. Like we wouldn't be here today where we are without being mature. That fast game does not last. So because I need to go get gas in my car. You feel me? And some young people got more money than me because they've been slinging some drugs, or they got opportunities. But again, think about where you're going to end up in those next 20 years. People who's going to jail. Not everybody can be a comedian and talk about it, about like Miss Pat. She does an amazing job, Miss Pat. But not everybody want that felony charge to talk about the dope game, right? So how are you really being impacted by those around you, and then giving back that energy after they've made that impact? That's what really matters.
All right, you heard it here on Believe Radio. We want to thank you all for tuning in. Please send this information out, this link out, go on your Instagram, email, because it's on Instagram. No.
Facebook,
Yeah,
YouTube,
Facebook, all of that, and
everything.
YouTube. Yeah, so you can pull us up
That's why I was on my phone
and
before we
send it.
started. I
Yes,
finished.
and send this out to your peoples, your family. Go ahead.
September 4th, 2023, Kingmakers and Hieroglyphics are joining forces to bring you an extraordinary music that packed festival. So I'm not exactly sure the location, but if you are familiar with Hieroglyphics, the organization, the rap group, and then we got the organization Kingmakers of Oakland, we're collaborating on September 4th. Doing a huge, they got like 3 stages. Hyro Day has been going on for a while now. So for those who are from the Bay and you're familiar, the logo is a circle with 3 dots in it. The Hieroglyphics crew, Souls of Mischief. Yep, Souls of Mischief. 93 till infinity. Come on now. So that's a different radio station. We're on Believe right now. We're talking about gospel music. But for those out here, again, this is about promoting the Kings, our young people in our community. So that's an event, September 4th.
And then that sparked events for me as well. So on August 13th, my lovely friend Benny, she's also a designer. She has a fashion show downtown Oakland at Red Heron Studio. And so her own, or how you say it, it's at that studio. And so we showing out for that. Also August 21st, we're celebrating my friend Soire's birthday. He has an event out in Antioch, and we have some few performers. I know the Andre and Nicole's gonna be there, the Il Nye, myself included. We gonna be out there performing. Are you gonna be at that one? 21st.
We
getting it
exactly.
right,
We getting
right.
everything.
Your boy LJ, the DJ, turned to this month.
Hey. So y'all heard it here on Believe Radio. We want you to make sure that you get in contact with these young men, follow them, love them, honor them, and stay connected. Peace out. Have a wonderful and safe weekend. We love y'all.
Shout out Virgos.
Love you. Shout out Libras.
Oh yeah, the Virgos and Libras do get along. So
Okay, and Gemini.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the women maybe. Some of the men
Yeah.
just take a seat.